How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Zoom Ed YouTube channel. Today I'm joined by Dayyan. You may recognize him from the Instagram channel Reptiliatus, where he keeps some of the most beautiful and obscure reptile species in the entire hobby. And he documents this whole process through each animal through some really nice, polished long form and short form videos. Welcome, Dayyan.
Thanks, bud. Thank you. Man, I don't even know what to say after that. I'm flattered. Wow.
So who are we building this enclosure for today?
I was thinking like an Ephorus species, maybe Levis.
So one of the knobtail geckos from Australia. So let's do it. We can start with a substrate, I guess.
Let's go.
So what do you want to do for substrate here?
I think we're gonna go with some nice red Repti sand. Oh yeah, look at that. It's nice and smooth, fine. Don't have to worry about impactions or anything like that with this. Beautiful, look at that. Nice, beautiful color.
So recently you got to do something that is probably on the tip top of my bucket list. You got to go to Madagascar.
I did. And I can see why that would be on the top for the same reason it was for me, buddy.
Absolutely. So at the time, I don't know if you still are, you were keeping Fantasticus.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual thing for me to get to see those animals and the meaning they had for me in my life, in my experience in the industry, like the hobby. Like I literally cried when I saw Fan in the wild. Like that's how much it meant to me.
I probably would too.
I literally shed a tear. Like I mean, it's probably also because we climbed up a mountain to find it, but it was yeah, it was a trek. But once we found that Fan, and there was no guarantee we would.
Yeah.
I was like, I just spent hours just staring at it. Like it was this beautiful golden male. That was the first Reptiliatus we found. And then from there on, it's a lot of Sequoia. Yes, let's do the hardscape. So one thing we could be doing if we had more time, let's say, if I could use the excavator substrate to anchor this wood and build up towards the top in a more safe manner.
Right.
And it would look pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like getting all dirty. I think
it's
so.
AnimalCon.
I just want to say that.
Now your kind of reptile collection, it's this really awesome amalgamation of a bunch of different kinds of species, not just stuff from the same family. It's like, what's your kind of thought process when you go to add a new species? Like, what do you think about and what really kind of tickles you?
I'm not about like getting the crazy rare thing, but I also find myself drawn to species that are underrepresented in the hobby. Maybe unconsciously, I like the challenge of trying to contribute to understanding a species and establishing it in the hobby. Whereas like some of the species I have, you know, whatever, even if it's the Stenodactylus or the red-eyed crocodile skinks or you know, the Chibisaurus, like that's a species I haven't bred yet, but I'm so desperate to do it. I'm really excited to be able to do that. And it adds so much more meaning when it's an animal that's not only endangered in the wild, but underrepresented in the trade. You get a bit of like an oomph and the satisfaction to being able to contribute to it. Also just to allow other hobbyists to be able to enjoy and work with those species too. But it's also for sure about what values the animal have as far as like being able to interact with them or even just their appearance. Like with red-eyed crocodile skinks, I'm lucky that it gotten to a point where they're quite comfortable interacting with me for food. It's always the key to their soul, their heart. But a lot of them, it's not, I don't need to be able to like hold them or anything like that. They're the big example of that. They're very shy.
Yeah, maybe some plants now, what do you think?
Let's do it, yes.
You know, with each species you add, there's like a ton of research that goes, that's, you know, involved in that process. Has there ever been like a species that you've added and then like you realize like 2 weeks in, you're like, this is so different to everything I thought I knew about this species?
The Crusiohyla craspidopus, the fringe leaf frog. Those guys are interesting. The way I acquired them was as tadpoles and raised them into frogs. So a lot of people say to go super sterile, make sure everything's crazy clean, and that's obviously a pretty safe bet with a lot of amphibians. You want to keep them super clean because they're more susceptible to illness. It is a bit scary when there doesn't seem to be a lot of good online information and it's just coming from individual hobbyists that have varying degrees of success. Because then you're kind of on your own, or you're having to really trust your intuition, but if it's not founded in anything, you have to trust others in some capacity. And there's a lot of learning curves. A lot of people, including myself, Unfortunately, had some losses.
Yeah.
But now I just have this one little guy, and he's just chilling, and I don't know, he's doing well. Okay, let's see. This is coming together. You know,
Yeah,
for an interview, Tank.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
You're doing great.
Thanks, guys.
You know, the sand on the wood does look pretty natural though.
It's true. I do this at home a lot as well. Like, it's quite natural to have some of that all over the wood, or even the leaf litter. Everybody always take leaf litter and put it on the ground, but leaves fall from trees, right? So you can have it all the way up and everything.
So is this a species you'd like to add to your collection at some point? Are we
Yeah.
getting a little bit of a Reptiliatus preview for the future?
I think so. One, they're adorable. Australian species are super cool. And I do like desert habitats. They can be pretty neat. I find pretty easy to maintain. So possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a sneak peek.
There we go.
It just might be. And I think that this is gonna work great.
Awesome. Looks great.
Pretty happy with that. Oh yeah. The pièce de résistance.
This is finished.
It is finished. We are ready to put in the gecko. Yeah, we have a cool kind of gradient for the animal to have a hide where it's not as hot, and a nice hot spot.
Nice hot basking spot right there for
And
him
hides.
too. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We got one last question for y'all. It's gonna be a rapid fire question. I'm gonna rattle off some questions really quick. Just give me the quickest answer that comes to mind. One species you want to add to your reptile collection.
Lace monitor.
Lace monitor.
I would love to have
That's
just
your
a
dream.
pet lace monitor.
What is one species you really want to find in the wild?
I really want to find red-eyed crocodile skinks in the wild. I'd love to go to Papua New Guinea and
my gosh.
actually find them. Just to be able to kind of try and document what they're doing and how they're being found and how they seem to be living would be super rewarding to me. Bring some of that info back.
What is your favorite reptile fact?
That spiny geckos, like of the Strophoris genus, can shoot sticky ooze from their tail is like the trippiest thing ever. It's like Pokemon or something.
It really is.
Like, you just don't
Pokemon.
expect a lizard to be able to do something like that.
What is one tool or one item in your reptile room that you cannot live without?
Feeding tongs.
Feeding tongs?
Yeah, I use them all the time, every single day.
Can't
I
live
have
without the
like
tongs.
8 pairs of them. Like, yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Dayyan
you so much.
Reptiliatus.
It's an
Really
honor.
appreciate it.
Happy to meet you finally in person.
Absolutely.
I follow this guy's content. I love what you're doing.
Thank you so
and
much.
With the brand,
You
it's
as well.
awesome.
Just one last blurb for the people. What are some things that you just want everybody to know about Dayyan Reptiliatus?
I love working with these animals. I love sharing the hobbyist experience, the good, the bad. That's just an important thing, sharing it so people can learn, sharing the pros and cons, or I don't know. I think just the honest, wholehearted experience of being a reptile hobbyist is like what I aim to share.
Yeah.
And I'm honored that I have a following, that people enjoy what I share, and that I get to do that. It humbles me. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're doing a great job, man.
Thanks,
Thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.